It's the day before spring. The 19th of March, 2026. It's now 8:28 p.m. It was a bit chancy tonight on whether or not I was going to be able to go out and get the NGC 2900, hopefully the 2999 series, but the last few nights have been like this. I just made an effort at 120-second exposure on NGC 2903, and I was able to get to 30 to 60 seconds, but now I'm not getting stacks. Now, the stars are looking pretty sharp, so it isn't a matter of stars, it's simply a matter of probably of motion. I did spend some time realigning the declination axis slightly to make sure that I could shift all my stars towards the center. And I used Procyon, I used Regulus, I used Sirius, I used Castor. So I did 4 stars, and I basically just adjusted the declination axis a little bit without redoing the model, just to see how it would turn out. And we will see this evening whether or not it was worthwhile. I'm going to go ahead. This is the auto setting for the histogram, and it's pretty much mirroring my own settings that I typically use. Oh, we got a second stack. Can you believe it? A second stack I want to make sure, at 120 seconds. Awesome. All right, so I'm going to play with the histogram a little bit. Now, I've determined that we're basically getting about 1 arc second per pixel instance on the screen. I did that by using Jupyter and magnifying the heck out of it and then counting the number of pixels. And it pretty much is 1-to-1 arc second of Jupyter size. I use something like 100 or 1,000% easy to do so. But anyway, I can't spend any more time explaining this to you. I'm going to move forward with the NGC 2900 to 2949 series, and we'll be seeing this galaxy again, but at 5 seconds exposure. Okay, I won't be doing any adjustments of the histogram this evening unless the sky conditions fall apart. Look at that, NGC 2900, back to 70%, is right in the middle of the field. It's a galaxy, and I'm waiting for data to come up. As I mentioned earlier, it's slower and slower. It's a galaxy in Hydra, the sea serpent, magnitude 13, 1.7 by 1.4, spiral with a bar, lowercase c, 241 million light years distant. Puts it about, let's say, 110,000 light years in diameter. RA 93015 with a declination of plus 4 degrees, 8 minutes, 37 seconds. NGC 2902 is a deeper south galaxy in Hydra, shifted off to the east and slightly to the south. It's a magnitude 12.2, 1.6 by 1.3 arc-minute lenticular spiral, 92 million light years distant, maybe 50,000 light years diameter. RA 93052 with a declination of minus 14, 4408. NGC 2903 is a galaxy in Leo, magnitude 9, 12 by 5.6 arc-minute spiral with a bar, lowercase b. Characteristics that are very similar to our own Milky Way. 28 million light years distant, puts it to about 80 to 90,000 light years in diameter. RA is 93209, declination plus 213003. Okay, there is an open cluster in NGC 2903. It is NGC 2905. And I'm not going to bother to make an adjustment because we're just going to go ahead and stack them up. It's in NGC 2903. It's magnitude 11, so this is quite bright. 13 arc seconds in size, 28 million light years distant. If you're like me, you were wondering about these bright regions in the spiral arms. Look at this spiral arm. It wraps around almost 220 degrees. I suspect this might have been the open cluster, but it could have been this one as well. Let's see if there's another one. In fact, there is not, but we've gotten 17 stacks out of NGC 2903. We're going on the 2906 next. NGC 2906 is a very apparent galaxy, maybe not as much as 2903, in the 30X field, galaxy in Leo, magnitude 12.7. 1.4 by 0.9 arc minutes, so pretty bright for that kind of a smaller size. Well, maybe a roughly usual size. Spiral with a lowercase c, but it's got a quite bright core there. 96 million light years distant, maybe 35,000 light years in diameter. RA 93206 with a declination of +8, 2630. NGC 2907 is apparent in the field. It's a galaxy in Hydra, magnitude 11.6, 2 by 1.2 arc minute, basically football shape, spiral lowercase ab, brightish core, 92 million light years distant. RA 93136 with a declination of -16, 4409. And experimenting with the histogram last night proved to me one thing. If you really want to see fine, faint, not details, but aspects of galaxies, you really do have to use the auto setting for histogram, even though the background sky is quite luminous. NGC 2911 also has a couple of apparent galaxies in the field, 105X. 2911 is a galaxy in Leo, magnitude 11.5, 4 by 3.1 arc minutes, so it's right in the middle, lenticular spiral. 145 million light years distance. So this one's probably somewhere around 180,000 light years in diameter. 4 times 145 ends you up with something like 600,000. Messier 31, it is 1 arc minute at 450. It's 150,000. So that's how I basically figure it out on the fly. RA is 93346 with a declination of +10, 0909. A ginormous lenticular spiral. In the same field as NGC 2912, let's see if we can pick it out. I think it's pretty obvious. Ooh, it isn't pretty obvious. It's a galaxy in Leo, magnitude 17.2 by 0.2. Now, this is probably it. NGC generally, except when there's errors, drifts from the west to the east as they increase the numbers. This is the faintest fuzzy that I can see next to NGC 2911. It's a compact galaxy, 147 million light years distant. If you do the math on this one, this can't be more than 15,000 light years in diameter. RA 93351 with a declination of +10, 0936. There probably is another to be seen later, sooner or later. NGC 2913 is away from the last series of galaxies we saw, popping right up in the middle of the field. I overshot my usual 105X view. It's a galaxy in Leo, magnitude 13.1, 1.1 by 0.7 arc minutes. Spiral with a lowercase c, so clearly doesn't have much of a core expansion, does it? 138 million light years distant, puts it at maybe 40,000 light years in diameter. RA 93402 with a declination of +9, 2842. We are in a galaxy wheelhouse now, of course. We're seeing lots of galaxies in Leo. Here's 3. I believe this is probably our target, but I want to hold them all up. NGC 2914, Galaxy Leo, magnitude 13.1, 0.9 by 0.6, spiral with a bar, lowercase ab, and you know what that means about a brightish core. RA is 93402 with a declination of +10, 0631. We'll be seeing this one a little bit, and possibly even that one if it isn't too faint for the NGC scopes, which got as far as about 40 inches in the aperture, but they were based on speculum mirrors of 72. NGC 2916 is another bright-ish galaxy right in the middle of the field. Boy, I'm glad I played with the mechanics on the declination. It's a galaxy in Leo, magnitude 12.1, 2.5 by 1.7 arc minutes. Good. Slightly larger than the average, maybe. Spiral with a lowercase b, 169 million light years distant, puts this one at about 120,000 light years diameter. RA 93457 with a declination of plus 21, 42, and 19. Check this 30x field. There's another galaxy in the middle right there. NGC 2917, Galaxy Hydra, magnitude 13.6. And you guessed it, it's an Aegean, 1.3 by 0.4 arc minutes. It's got a brightish core, spiral with lowercase a, 164 million light years distant, so it's not particularly large, maybe 65,000 light years in diameter. Let's make sure we get that 105x view. RA is 934.26 with a declination of minus 2 degrees, 30 minutes, 15 seconds. NGC 2918 is another visible galaxy right in the middle of the field. Boy, I'm glad I played with that declination. Galaxy in Leo, magnitude 12.6, 1.4 by 1, giant globular cluster elliptical galaxy, 308 million light years distant. This one is larger than Messier 31, maybe around 170,000 light years in diameter. Huge for an elliptical. RA 935.44 with a declination of plus 31, 42, and 19. Having some trouble with my mouse. Let's see what it is. Anyway, we're at NGC 2919. Maybe I had to clean the pad. It just doesn't seem to be reading it anymore very particularly well. NGC 2919 is a galaxy in Leo, magnitude 12.9, 1.6 by 0.5 arc minutes, 3-to-1 aspect, spiral with a bar, lowercase bc. That core is kind of diminutive. 112 million light years distant, so maybe 60,000 light years in diameter. RA 934.47 with a declination of plus 10, 17.01. Come on, mouse. And pad. Okay, things are working a little better now. I just reversed the pad and swiped it a little bit. What we're looking for here is probably this galaxy here, but there's another one in the field. NGC 2920 is a galaxy in Hydra, magnitude 13.9 by 0.6, spiral lowercase a, 139 million light years distant, so maybe 40,000 light years in diameter. RA 934.12, but the declination is minus 20, 51, 34, and we do have a diffraction bar from a power line. Okay, NGC 2921 is probably this one because it's centered up a little better. This was the previous one, I believe it was 2920. Galaxy in Hydra, magnitude 12, 2.9 by 1.1 arc minutes, spiral with a bar. And if we didn't have that diffraction grating, we'd probably see its ring. 133 million light years distant, puts it at about 120,000 light years in diameter. RA 934.31 with a declination of minus 20, 55.14. NGC 2922 is quite visible in the middle of the field. Let's make sure we back out to 105 so we have a standard. Galaxy in the Little Lion, Leo Minor. It's magnitude 14.1, 1.2 by 0.5. It's an irregular with a capital with a bar. Interesting. 197 million light years distant, so maybe 65,000 light years in diameter. RA is 936.52 with a declination of plus 37, 41, 38. Closing in on the halfway mark now, we're looking for NGC 2923, a galaxy in Leo. It's magnitude 15. There she be, right in the middle of the field. Whoa! 0.3 by 0.3 arc minutes. I believe it. Compact galaxy, 362 million light years distant. Puts this one at maybe 30,000 light years in diameter. Given that distance, it is a luminous galaxy for that size. RA 936.03 with a declination of plus 16, 45, 37. NGC 2924 is a visible galaxy in Hydra, magnitude 12. It's not this one, probably this one. It's an elliptical class O, 1.3 by 1.2 arc minutes, 205 million light years distant, so maybe 70,000 light years in diameter, which is pretty large for an elliptical. RA is 935.10 with a declination of minus 16, 23, 54. 4. Speeding up things, NGC 2926 Galaxy Leo, magnitude 13.4. 0.8 by 0.8 arc minutes, spiral with a bar, lowercase b, 198 million light years distant, RA 93731 with a declination of plus 325028. NGC 2927 is also visible in the middle of the fields, Galaxy and Leo, magnitude 12.9, 1.9 by 1.1 arc minutes, kind of large for almost 13th magnitude galaxy. Spiral with a bar, lowercase b, 337 million light years distant. It is a biggie. RA is 93715 with a declination of plus 233524. 2928 is a Galaxy in Leo. You won't see it at 30x, however. It's because it's a magnitude 15, 1.1 by 0.6. Coming out at 105x, though. Spiral. 366 million light years distant. RA is 93710 with a declination of plus 165837. And NGC 2929 is a Galaxy in Leo, magnitude 13.7. It's got some confreres there, 1.2 by 0.3. Yeah, that's that Edgiani. Spiral lowercase c, 336 million light years, 93729 RA, declination plus 230939. Okay, looking east from 2929 is 2930, I suspect. Waiting for data to come up. It's a Galaxy in Leo, like the last. Oh boy, it's really taking a while to fetch. Magnitude 14.1.7 by 0.4 arc minutes, spiral with peculiarities. Well, these guys are all probably interacting gravitationally. 311 million light years distant, RA 93732, declination plus 231210. Did I hear someone say NGC 2931? It's a Galaxy in Leo, magnitude 15. Now, that doesn't quite cut it. That's way too bright. This is more likely to be it, unless, of course, it's like a elliptical galaxy. 0.8 by 0.6 arc minutes, 338 million light years distant, RA 93737, declination plus 231425. Look this one up in Steve Gottlieb's adventuresindeepspace.com. NGC 2933, Galaxy in Leo, magnitude 15, 1 by 0.4. Yeah, that's probably it right there. Spiral with peculiarities, 199 million light years distant, RA 93755, declination plus 17.52 seconds. NGC 2933 had a neighbor, NGC 2934. It's a Galaxy in Leo, but I forgot to go and search the data. Hold on 1 second. 2934, Galaxy Leo, magnitude 15, very small, 0.2 by 0.2 arc minutes. This is about the smallest apparent size I've come in across. It's a compact. There's a reason it's so small. 623 million light years distant. Get some info on this. RA is 93755, declination plus 170315. Maybe this one right here. NGC 2935 is behind a diffraction bar, but it is what? Wow, it looks like a double star there. Should be shifted slightly to the right. There's probably a star and a galaxy in a line of sight. It's magnitude 11.4. You don't know for sure. 3.7 by 2.8 arc minutes. Spiral with a bar, lowercase ab, 104 million light years distant. I'm going to push it. RA 93644 with a declination of minus 210742. NGC 2936 is vaguely visible in the middle of the field. Galaxy and Hydra, magnitude 13.1, 1.3 by 0.5 arc minute. It has an annularity, which requires that I push its magnification up. Annularity of about magnitude 17. So RA 93744, declination plus 2, 4536. Maybe overhead on a really good night we would make out that ring. NGC 2936 had a companion, indexed by 1. Galaxy and Hydra, magnitude 13.7, 2 by 0.7 arc minutes. We could have swapped those around. Although this one's further to the west. It should have come first. This one's later. It's got a ring around it, 312 million light years distant. Doesn't specify the morphology. RA 93744 with a declination of +2, 4450. I'm going to allow it to recenter. Okay, I recentered and went to 150x. That's probably our NGC 2937 right there. NGC 2939 is a galaxy in Leo. I just love the way everything's centering up. Makes the job so much easier. Magnitude 12.4, 2.5 by 0.9 arc minutes, so getting that edgy on view. Spiral with a bar, lowercase c, 152 million light years distant, RA 93807, declination not plus 93122, almost a match. 2939 had a very close neighbor, NGC 2940, waiting for data to come up. Should be towards the middle of the field here. Let's check it out, see if that's the case. Galaxy in Leo, magnitude 13.5, 0.9 by 0.7, okay. Lenticular spiral, yes, very bright core. 385 million light years distant, kind of large for a lenticular. RA 93805, declination plus 93659. NGC 2941, I'm seeing a galaxy. Well, it shouldn't be visible, but it is. It's its neighbor. It's a galaxy in Leo, magnitude 15. 0.5 by 0.4 arc minute. Remember, that 0.2 by 0.2 is about the smallest I've ever seen. That's basically 0.2 times 1/5. That's 1/5 is about 12 arc seconds. This one's larger than that. 327 million light years distant, RA 93824, declination plus 170238. NGC 2942's galaxy in Leo Minor. It's a very vague galaxy, isn't it? It's magnitude 12.6, but large, 2.3 by 1.7 arc minutes, spiral with a lowercase c, which explains why it's so vague. 202 million light years distant. Largish, probably as large as Messier 31, RA 93907 with a declination of plus 34 degrees and 21 seconds. By the way, this one looks like it has a ring. That was 2942. NGC 2943 is a galaxy in Leo. It should have been visible from the outset because its magnitude 12.4, 2.2 by 1.2 arc minute size elliptical. So it could have veiled this look like a star. 376 million light years distant, very large, over 200,000. RA 93832, declination plus 170153. Part of that, I believe that we've seen this group several times now. NGC 2944 should come up next, but we did make a bit of a hop. It's a galaxy in Leo, magnitude 14, 1 by 0.4, and it's visible on the screen, I do believe. There's one embroiled with a star with a very tight core and a little bit of an edgy on. Let's see which one it is. 2944 galaxy Leo, magnitude 14, 1 by 0.4, spiral with a lowercase c, 310 million light years distant, RA is 93917, declination plus 32, 1837. NGC 2945 barely escaped a diffraction bar from the power line. Galaxy in Hydra, magnitude 12.2, 1.6 by 1.2 arc minutes, lenticular spiral, 205 million light years distance, so maybe 100K. RA 93741, declination minus 220204. Very nice view for that far south. NGC 2946 is a galaxy in Leo. No problem distinguishing it because it was right in the center of the field. Magnitude 13.9, 1.2 by 0.4 arc minute works for me. S-spiral with a bar with peculiarities, 402 million light years distant, Messier 31 size, RA 93901, declination plus 170129. NGC 2947 is just inside the diffraction bar. Galaxy and Hydra, magnitude 13.2, 1.5 by 1.4 arc minute, spiral with a lowercase bc, and an annularity. Don't expect to see it, but I'll push it up. 125 million light years distant, RA 93605, with a declination of minus 122615. Penultimate, or possibly the ultimate study of the evening, is NGC 2948, a galaxy in Leo, magnitude 12.9, 1.4 by 0.9 arc minute, spiral with a bar, lowercase bc, 226 million light years distant, RA 93859, declination plus 6, 57, 20. And I'm going to leave this one up as I see if there's a 2949. And guess what? It's also in Leo. Let's go there now for our final Carpe Noctem view, because I got to move on to the NGC 2950 to 2999 series. NGC 2949, I'll give you a chance to see if it's on the screen, vaguely, possibly. It's a galaxy in Leo. The reason we might not have seen it is because it's magnitude 15.5, 0.6 by 0.6 arc minutes. However, it's a lenticular spiral, which means visually it's probably magnitude 14.5, because the BV delta tends to be about 1 magnitude between photographic and visual magnitudes on galaxies of the lenticular class. And they reported pretty much accurately up to about magnitude 13.5, the visual magnitude, not the photographic. This is a lenticular spiral, 638 million light years distant. Pretty intense luminosity. Right ascension is 939.55 with a declination of plus 16 degrees, 47 minutes, and 5 seconds. Now, at half an arc minute, at 640 million light years distant, I'm rounding it up, that would be about 320 million light years, which would be about 90 to 100,000 light years in diameter, which is the size of our own Milky Way. But I can assure you our Milky Way wouldn't be magnitude 15.5 photographic or 14.5 visual, probably somewhere around magnitude 16 at that distance. So this is going to be our Carpe Noctem view. I'm going to align these various galaxies up again, and I'm going to play a little bit with the histogram just to see if I can improve the visual quality of the sky to make it look a little bit more like space. Now what I did is I moved the right slider over to the right to the very point where the spectrogram just touches the baseline x-axis. Meanwhile, the histogram slider to the left is just touching where the left side of the histogram spectrum touches the baseline. However, these don't necessarily give the best views. I'm going to go back to the auto setting and settle out, as I say, Carpe. Whoa, what happened there? Carpe Noctem.